Rolling. All right. Let's get it popping in this piece. What's good, fam? This video will talk about guys need to stop trying to save these women that don't want to be saved. All right, we're gonna get into about a lot of times. You know, these women out here have an ulterior motive, guys. I know you mean well, and you want to make sure you're in that provider mode, and this, that, and the third. We're gonna get into it, but you find yourself in a conundrum because she flips it on you and behaves differently. So we're gonna cover some of these things here and get you some clarity on why you shouldn't fall for these little mind tricks here when it comes to trying to save someone. All right. So listen, guys, new to the channel, I want you to like, subscribe, comment below, join the fam. When you're here with the family, when you're family with us, we got you. Don't go away.
I pray for my homies out there. Please, God, give them strength.
So let's talk about the ways, because there's a lot of different ways that women sometimes play the damsel in distress, or there is, or just even by default, sometimes they actually have some conditions and problems that maybe you're not privy to in the beginning, right? Because oftentimes when we're dating, it's an interview, that first date, second date, third date. It's not till you about, 3 months in, you start realizing that she's a little different, or she starts to fall off, or the shine starts to go away a little bit, and all these little problems start popping up. And then you realize, oh, you know what? It's not a big deal. We'll work through it together. We'll get through it together. So oftentimes, those problems are already there. 90% of the time, you're just walking into it, right? So we want to talk about, you not falling into this situation where you can't get out of it, because now you're on this roller coaster where you're saving her and everything's going downhill. You're trying to catch everything for her and make up for her, mistakes or whatever, right? And we'll get into it real quick. So be mindful, guys. If you're doing some of these things and you wonder why she's acting a different way, chances are she was already like this before you met her, right? She passed your interview, but now she's on the job and you're seeing for what it really is. Trying to save a woman financially, right? Trying to jump in. Now, she could say when you meet her, she's not going to tell you she's got problems up front. It's going to be smiles, walk and date, talking about future. She's probably going to ask you about your finances. Oh, what do you do? How long you've been there, this and that. You're going to tell her, oh, no, I'm doing this and that. That's security, this and that, whatever. She's going to say that's great or whatever. You ask her, she says, oh, yeah, I'm doing fine too. This, that, bills here and there. She won't get into detail, right? Because she don't have you yet. Once she gets you, you take things forward with her, and once the sex commences, right, that starts to put things in order, puts the pieces in place. This when she starts to act funny, maybe she starts to pull back, or she starts to be easily disenchanted. So this is why you don't want to start doing things early for her, right, and get on this little roller coaster ride where you end up, you're in a situation where your frame is set where you like to fix things and get her going and all this, because oftentimes through praises, she may say stuff like, oh, you're so together, you're so organized. I love a man that's organized. I love a man that has this. I love a man that does that. Why? Women need security. She ain't lying. The fact of the matter is that she loves all that stuff. Doesn't mean she has it, but she's going to end up counting on you to take on and inherit all her bills. If she's got bills sitting around on the coffee table, guys, you go to her house or the kitchen table, there's unopened bills, collection notices, or her phone is ringing, this collection company calling her. She says, oh, it's probably a scam or whatever. Meanwhile, it says Citibank or it says ABC Bank or whatever, and it's clearly a creditor, or she's on the phone with the creditor, and she goes, no, I will get back to you. I said I'll call you. She's ducking phone calls, guys. See, she's not taking responsibility. See, at the end of the day, a lot of times women, unfortunately, some women feel like, hey, you know what? This is going good. We've got a couple of years in. I want to get married. Before you get married with someone, guys, you got to check their financials. I don't care who it is. And I know it sounds weird. It sounds cold. It sounds callous. But it's a whole lot colder, weird, and callous when you marry someone and find out she got all these bills out of the blue. You try to buy a house with her, realize she's got 10 years, 12 years debt trailing her, and you guys can't move on. You live in an apartment in order to get a house, which you guys discussed before you got married. But now that you're married, you're like 3 months in, you realize she's got all these bills, so you can't get a home because it's going to hinder you back. You can't take her and add her on your credit. That's a big problem. Now you got two problems. Now you got all her bills become your bills. You inherit that. See, and sadly enough, some women count on, you know what? When I get married, this will all clear itself up. He'll be more than happy to take on my bills and clear my bills. They plan on marrying somebody that's making high six figures, tall, 6'6", or whatever. They have this preset notion that all guys are going to be able to take on all their bills and make their problems go away, right? Those bills came from bad dates, traveling to exotic places that she couldn't afford, her car that she had couldn't afford probably, or, you know, not paying the rent or whatever. She's trailing behind the utility bills or whatever it is. But it accumulates, you know, her clothing to go out to the club, her clothing to go on vacation, her plane ticket, all stuff builds up. She'll take care of it later. Maybe she had a guy that was a sugar daddy, was taking care of stuff for her. All of a sudden, he stopped. You see, this is when the women had these big problems because they were living that lifestyle through someone else. And now here you come to take on the marriage role. Oh my goodness, so this is a windfall. Women count on guys taking care of these problems. Sure, he'll be a little mad. He'll be pissed off. But you know what? I give him some. He's my husband. I expect him to take care of it. They have expectations for you to take on all their problems, you see. Now, you try that the other way around, where she's got to take care of your bills and your problems, although it does happen, but it's not often, not like it does on the other side. When it comes to the guy, if a guy has to pay if she has to pay a guy's bills, she's going to be turned off. She'll say, you know what, why don't we wait until you get your shit together? But she's going to be turned off and disenchanted with you. So this is why it works both ways, guys. So don't think that, oh, well, man, I'm going to just take her bills and not complain about it. No, she has a responsibility of her own. What happens with this, women that fail to take on their own responsibilities will always put that problem, put the blame on someone else. Push the blame, pass the blame, and stay, irresponsible. She has a sole responsibility for her own self, for her own self-care, her own self-awareness, her own self-resilience, her own self-respect, to take care of that on her own. That's integrity, right? On her own integrity. Take integrity. Take accountability for her own actions. But if she doesn't do that, guys, she's counting on someone else to do it for her. So be careful with that one. Don't say for women she got emotional problems, right? She's a manic depression, or she's always sad, or she's got the blues, or doomsday syndrome, right? This is an emotional trigger that she carries with her. She's happy when she's with you. When you're not there, she's depressed. Or you get there for a while, she's happy, and then she gets depressed after a while. She's bored. She wants something to do. She complains. She's not happy with life, blah, blah, blah. See, people like this, the problem is she expects you to prop her up. I talk about this all the time, guys. They expect you to make them happy all the time, always trying to keep her going, keep her entertained, keep her mind off herself. Why? Because when she's alone in her own space, the noise is too loud. The voices in her head is too loud. Now, these are conditions. Now, everything I'm talking about right now, that I'm going to talk about, it can work it out if they're asking for help. But what I'm talking about here is someone that's not asking for help because they really don't want it, right? And asking for help is one thing, but you have to actually have that person has to apply themselves with professional care as well. Sure, your help is going to be the support, the emotional support. Boom, helping them get through whatever they get through professional help, right? They're not doing that, guys. They don't really want this part of it. They just want to talk about it. Because someone that has depression and sad and doomsday, these people fail to appreciate life, right? Where they are. Gratitude, right? Gratitude and being graceful and appreciative, those things diminish depression, right? Because you can always find something to be happy about, or at least grateful about, or at least appreciate. But when you're only self-absorbing yourself and the negativity and the negative stuff that you project within yourself, then you don't want to be appreciative. That breaks the spell. Being grateful breaks the spell, right? You want to talk about that kind of stuff. Me, always me. And so those are the things that they live in. That's where they're most comfortable. So leave them there. Unless that's for help, you leave them there. They're not ready to be saved. So you leave them. It's their journey to figure out. I know it sounds cold and callous. Like I said, it's going to sound cold and callous. But listen, what's more cold and callous if you try to enable them and help them through this problem when they're not ready for it, right? When you do that, you're not helping. You're kind of wasting your time, and you're forcing your wishes upon them. They're not ready. They're going to resist even more. And it's justified why they're doing it, because look at him, he's giving me a hard time. Now I'm really depressed. So, now it's your fault. See, that's how that happens. It turns off 6 to you. Literally, white knighting, right? White knight syndrome, guys. That this is where the stranger comes in the situation, right? You're out somewhere at a bar or whatever, and the guy is talking to some girl. You don't know these people, but oftentimes guys step in. Sure, it seems honorable, but oftentimes it's a beautiful girl, and maybe she's a little drunk, and one guy grabs her by the arm. She goes, "Get off me, and the guy goes, "Oh, come here, you like it," and some guy, "Hey, leave her alone. It's a lady. Treat her like a lady. She's respectful. Don't do that," And this white knighting is a guy's. He feels this is obligation, right? To step in and save the day, right? Save her from her problems. Meanwhile, when you do stuff like that, you don't know what the situation is, right? That could be her boyfriend. That could be her ex. That could be a guy that she was talking to, but that's their situation. Now, a woman that's fighting back, she may like that push and pull. But if you're staying on the outside as a white knight and saying, "Hey, that's not right. You treat her like a lady. She's sloppy drunk," number one. And chances are, if he does jump in, the guy goes say, who is this guy? She's going to say, "I don't know who he is." And guess what? Now ass beating's coming. Now you're in a situation with a guy you don't know. She just said, "I don't know who he is." And now they're both looking at you funny. And this is oftentimes this happens. You don't know. Shit, you go outside, you get into it with this guy. She jumps and helps him out. So it's always best to stand back. Now, if a woman's really in trouble, if she's really, in distress, there's a way when women say, "Leave me alone," and a way when someone's really in distress, screaming, yelling, trying to get away. Women don't hang around people that they're not comfortable with. I don't care how it looks to us on the outside. You don't know what the situation with them is. Maybe they argue, make up the breakup, and here you come, white knighting. "Hey, guy, leave her alone," and you get your meat lumped. You know what I'm saying? You get your block knocked off. So mind your business, because chances are there's security around. If it's an establishment, if she yells long enough, if he gets too crazy, someone's going to jump in. At that point, sure, you get the help. You can jump in or whatever, but just there'll be enough indications that this is more than just two people just having a discussion or a disagreement or whatever. Okay, so don't jump to the gun. Mind your business. All right, because chances are, if she says, "Someone help me," women yell for help and they want help. So if they're not doing that, mind your business. You mean well, get it, but mind your business. Always complaining about her life or situation. Someone at work, she likes to vent, right? All she's doing, guys, she's talking about her day, how bad this was. The guy, the barista, I couldn't believe he made my drink. It was terrible. I told the next girl, she always gave me the drink the right way, but today she didn't. And then I went to work, so I set my whole day off, blah, 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 blah. She goes through a whole spiel of her day, and then you jump in and try to say, "Well, maybe the lady didn't know. Maybe she was having a bad day, and maybe, so you try to fix her problems. Stop trying to fix her problems to build her morale up. Again, this is coming in, trying to, instead of, when a woman's venting, you don't jump in, swoop in, and try to fix the situation. Well, next time, go to a different place. Next time, if there's one over here, or make coffee at home before you go to work. It's not what she wants. She doesn't want a solution. She only wants to vent. And when you come in trying to save the situation, she finds it resentful. She's gonna say, "Well, you don't listen to me. You don't understand me. You don't get me." And then you're scratching your head because you don't. Now she's mad because you tried to, tell her how to get coffee in the morning. You meant well. It's not how women don't think that way. What she wants you to do is just listen, right? She's actually venting. And when she's only venting, you listen, you go, "Oh, really? Boom. Wow, okay." You know how you fix that? By not fixing it. That's how you fix it. So, again, she's not trying to be saved through conversation and communication. She's trying to be understood. And when you start trying to fix her problem, you're not helping. Now she resents the fact she told you because you don't get it. "I don't want to go another place. I go here every day. Why would I go another place?" And you go, I'm trying to help you out." And now you're, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you don't do that. Don't save her. She doesn't want to be saved. She's actually venting, right? You guys make that mistake all the time. So just know what that one is. It's a little sneaky, it's a little sneaky and shit. It's the intentions are well, but it's misinterpreted by the female mind. Abusive relationship. Women have an abusive relationship. A boyfriend puts his hands on her and they're back and forth for years, and he's abusive and this and that, and you figure, or family tries to help her out and her girlfriends, and she still keeps going back to the same guy. Well, why is that? And you say, "Well, that shouldn't happen, and I'll take care of you, and you no. What happens is that's again, some people are attracted to this kind of behavior. Also, it's familiar. So again, guys that come and try to save the day and keep them from going to a situation where it's dangerous. Of course, it's dangerous. We all know that. But she has to make a decision. She decides, hey, I know this person, and maybe she interprets that abuse as love, or as expression of love, or someone just cares that much that they go crazy. And now we can't, as society, you have to wait for someone to actually really reach out when they're ready. Like I said, this goes for any addiction, guys, drugs, anything, any kind of, it's an emotional connection, right? Emotional trigger. That person has to actually, want to change, right? That's male or woman, doesn't matter in this case, right? It's an addiction, right? And it's familiar. So people rather go to what's familiar because there's consistency there, right? So come and trying to save someone. You want to save them, stand to the side and be support. That's it. If she's dating a married man and he tells her, "Oh, I'm sleeping on the couch. I don't really sleep with her anymore. And, we're in the same house, but we're separated." Or one of those situations, and she keeps going back to the same guy. She's sitting home crying, wait for him to get get the time in with him. And this has gone on for years. And, her friends are trying to tell her, again, it's the same situation. This is a different this is like an emotional abuse right here, where it's clear that she's not getting the time she needs with this person, but she stays there. Why? Because, again, this is consistency, right? This is certainty, right? She may not like this arrangement, but she's in hopes. And the hope is that maybe, the wife won't be there, or she'll get a chance to step in. And he keeps saying, "One day when the lawyer comes through, whatever." See, this is almost like bad boy behavior. However, this is what happens, why she won't leave, because this is more familiar for her. She'd rather do this. And this is also some of this melodramatic as well, right? She needs that. It's part of a story, right? The drama is part of the story. So it keeps her in the loop. She can always tell. She has a story to talk about. It's significant to her, right? And she gets sympathy from that, right? People go, "Oh, man, I wish you would do this. I wish you could find somebody. I wish this and that." She goes, "No, he's going to turn around. I know it. I'm just going to wait." And this is now, if you change all that, she steps away from all this and gets somebody that's, whatever, it's going to be a little better of an option for her. Then she loses a story, right? So if she loses a story, she loses significance. It's not worth talking about anymore. Unless she says, "Oh, he's great, he's this, he's that," but that's not the mentality. She's coming from a place where she needs significance in her story. Woe is me. Again, this is like doomsday, except she's the victim here, right? It's a victim story monologue. So she needs that monologue to keep going, to give her significance. She gets the phone calls. "Hey, so how you doing today?" "Oh, I'm just laying here watching TV, thanks for calling me, though. I starts talking or whatever. Another one calls up, hey, what you doing? I'm just home at the table. I'm gonna eat some ice cream. And say, oh, I'll come over and I'll cheer you up. Okay, come have a little girls' night out, whatever. So it gives her unlimited attention from her friends and people that, so you can say, oh, this person cares about me. Oh, they show they care, they get her attention, and all this nonsense. So again, this is part of her story. If she went on to get someone that was decent or whatever, she's having more fun with, it kills the story. It kills our victim story. She loves the victim story, probably from childhood. What's the matter, Susie? You didn't get ice cream? No, get no ice cream. And the ahs and the oohs and the special treatment and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes that's a condition. So it's a cycle. It goes on and on and on. It was cute when they were down here, but now they're full grown and they're still having these little, poor me moments. I didn't get an ice cream today moment. So she gets coddled and pampered by someone else that's going to actually show they care. So again, these guys are all these are things women want, little tricks that women get to have people do things like, in other words, for guys to save them, take them out of their misery, take them from them and deliver them to the land of happiness, and peace and financial freedom and all of the nonsense, right? Emotional freedom and everything else, which is unrealistic. It takes two, all right, to work. It takes a functioning a body, a unit for two people to work in cohesion. Boom, boom, boom. One does. Boom, boom, boom. Each support each other. But someone that's doing this wants things done one way, just for them, for their own personal selfish needs. Now, someone that needs to be saved, they know how to reach out. If they reach out, of course, they're not asking for it to be helped. They're asking to be saved. Don't save them. They're not asking for it. Chances are, like I said, they didn't ask. So you don't do. You watch, of course you watch. Support from a distance. To cry out loud enough for help. Then if they reach out and get them to resources, whatever. If they follow through, it's up to them to follow through, guys. Like, subscribe, comment below. When you hear your family, I got you. Excel, and I'm out.